Picture this, the African savanna, bathed in the golden light of a lazy afternoon. Our favourite meerkat, Timon, is doing what he does best, digging frantically for a crunchy, juicy beetle. But today, his claws hit something different. Not a rock, not a root, but a rolled-up, weathered piece of parchment. An old, mysterious map. His eyes go wide. Pumbaa. Pumbaa, you're not gonna believe this. He yells, scrambling over to his best warthog pal, who's enjoying a mud bath. Look, it's a treasure map. We're gonna be rich. No more digging for grubs, pal. We're talking mountains of shiny stuff. Pumbaa, ever the gentle soul, squints at the map. Gee, Timon, are you sure? It looks kinda dusty. But Timon's excitement is contagious. Dusty with destiny, Pumbaa. This is it. Our ticket to the good life. Hakuna Matata is about to get a major upgrade. And just like that, with dreams of riches dancing in their heads, our dynamic duo sets off on an adventure of a lifetime. Their journey begins immediately, the map's faded lines pointing them across the sprawling, sun-drenched savanna. The air is thick with the buzz of insects and the distant calls of exotic birds. Their first clue, a crudely drawn picture of two cliffs with a line between them, leads them to the edge of a massive, gaping canyon. The other side seems miles away. Timon, Pumbaa says, peering nervously over the edge. The map didn't mention anything about flying. Timon, unfazed, taps his chin. No problem, buddy. We just need a long, springy thing. He looks around, his eyes landing on a long, sturdy vine hanging from a nearby tree. Aha. Pumbaa, my portly pal, you're the muscle. I'm the brains, we swing. It took a few tries, a lot of screaming from Timon, and one very precarious moment where they almost became a permanent canyon decoration, but with a final, mighty push from Pumbaa, they swung across, landing in a heap on the other side, dizzy but triumphant. The first challenge was conquered. This treasure hunt was going to be easy. Or so they thought. As they ventured deeper into the unfamiliar territory, the savanna seemed to throw everything it had at them. The next clue on the map was a drawing of a big, angry-looking horn. It didn't take them long to find its real-life counterpart, a grumpy, territorial rhino, blocking their path and snorting impatiently. Timon, trying to use his charm, attempts to reason with it. Hey there, horn face. Nice place you got here. We'll just be passing through, don't mind us. The rhino responded by lowering its head and charging. New plan. Timon shrieked, leaping onto Pumbaa's back. Run. What followed was a classic Timon and Pumbaa chase scene, zigzagging through the tall grass. It was Pumbaa's quick thinking that saved them. He spotted a patch of incredibly sticky mud and skidded to a halt right before it. The rhino, unable to stop, plunged headfirst into the goo. Stuck in the mud, are we? Timon taunted from a safe distance. Guess you're not so tough now. With the rhino sufficiently distracted, they tiptoed away, giggling at their narrow escape. Their relief was short-lived. The map then led them into a bewildering maze of giant termite mounds, some towering over them like skyscrapers. Every path looked the same, and soon they were hopelessly lost. Which way did we come from? Pumbaa asked, turning in a circle. I think we passed that weirdly shaped mound 3 times already. Timon, trying to maintain his leader persona, climbed to the top of a mound for a better view. It's all part of the plan, Pumbaa. The treasure is trying to test us. But even he was starting to feel a bit desperate. That's when Pumbaa's sensitive nose caught a familiar, delicious scent on the windy Timon. I smell slop weeds. And there, that way. Following Pumbaa's nose, they navigated through the maze not by sight, but by scent, eventually finding their way out and celebrating with a well-deserved snack. But the savannah wasn't done with them yet. Their path was cut off by a wide, murky river. As they debated how to cross, a log floated by, looking like the perfect raft. All aboard the SS Pumbaa, Timon declared. It was only when they were halfway across that they realized the logs in the water had eyes and very, very sharp teeth. The river was filled with snapping crocodiles. Panic set in. Thinking fast, Timon grabbed a handful of the stinkiest bugs he could find and started throwing them. The crocodiles, momentarily distracted by the unexpected, foul-smelling snack, gave them just enough time to paddle furiously to the opposite bank, collapsing in exhaustion. Battered, muddy, but with their spirits still surprisingly high, they looked at the final clue on the map. It was a simple, majestic drawing of a massive tree with a big X at its roots. As they crested the next hill, they saw it. A giant, ancient baobab tree, its thick branches reaching towards the sky like gnarled arms. It was the oldest, biggest tree they had ever seen. "This is it, Pumbaa," Timon whispered in awe. "The end of the line." They rushed to its base, and sure enough, right where the X was marked, the ground looked like it had been disturbed long ago. With renewed energy, they started digging. Timon with his tiny claws, Pumbaa with his powerful snout. It was hard work, but the thought of the treasure spurred them on. Finally, Pumbaa's snout hit something solid. A loud asterisk funk asterisk echoed in the quiet air. "We found it. We found it." Timon cheered. Together, with great effort, they unearthed a large, ornate wooden chest bound with rusty iron straps. This was the moment they had been waiting for. Their hearts pounded as they worked on the heavy, locked lid. Come on," Timon grunted, pulling with all his might while Pumbaa pushed from the other side. With a final groan and a loud creak, the chest swung open. They peered inside, their eyes wide with anticipation, expecting to be blinded by the glint of gold, the sparkle of diamonds, the shimmer of jewels. But the chest was empty. Completely empty. Well, almost. Lying right in the center was a single, small, smoothly polished stone. Timon picked it up. Carved into its surface were 5 simple words: the journey was the treasure. A wave of disappointment washed over Timon. He threw the stone to the ground in frustration. "Are you kidding me? A rock. We went through rhinos and crocodiles and getting lost for a stupid rock. What a rip-off." He slumped against the baobab tree, all his dreams of a life of luxury vanishing into thin air. Pumbaa walked over and sat beside him, putting a comforting hoof on his shoulder. "Well, Timon," he said softly, "think about it. We did get to swing across that giant canyon. And we outsmarted that big old rhino. And we even found our way out of that maze 'cause of my nose." Timon looked up at his friend. "Yeah, but no treasure." Pumbaa smiled. "The rock is right, Timon. We had an adventure. We did it together. I wouldn't trade it for all the jewels in the world." Timon looked at Pumbaa, then at the vast savanna stretching out before them as the sun began to set, painting the sky in brilliant shades of orange and purple. A slow smile spread across his face. "You know what, Pumbaa? You're right." He picked up the little stone and put it in his pocket. The journey asterisk was asterisk the treasure. They sat there together, to best friends watching the sunset, perfectly content. Their stomachs might have been empty, but their hearts were full. Thanks for watching our story today. If you enjoyed this adventure, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow for more tales from the Savanna.